Welcome to ADHD or Life, a couple's perspective. Join us, Adam and Donna, as we navigate the ups and downs of living with ADHD in a relationship. With no holds barred discussions and real life stories, we explore the journey of questioning ADHD and ask, is it ADHD or just life? Welcome to Is It ADHD or Life, a couple's perspective, where we unravel what it's like to live with ADHD within a relationship. And this week we're asking the question, is it ADHD or did we just have a baby? And we'll be unpicking kind of how it's affected your ADHD. You know it's going to be a good one when you start like that.
Oh, it's a bad one. That's a big one.
Yes, big one. And we've been putting it off and off and off, haven't we? But I think we're comfortable enough to kind of go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we start then, let's talk about the last 2 weeks. How's it been? So obviously the last podcast, we started with the previous 3 weeks where it had been a bit of a roller coaster to hell. How's the last 2 weeks?
Did you say to hell?
Yeah.
That's a bit harsh. I think the last 2 weeks have been good.
Yeah.
Been much better.
Yeah.
A lot more motivated, a lot more...
Absolutely.
Yeah, not so stressful or anything.
Do you think maybe you've fit into a bit of a routine now and
Definitely, yeah. I think with you being back at work and stuff, we've got used to it a bit and it's all just flowing, I think, a bit better.
Yeah, I think for me, the last 2 weeks, I've definitely noticed that I've had to become maybe a little bit more laid back.
Okay. For example?
Just little things that have been slipping back in.
Here we go. Go on. So soon.
Well, the bread thing.
What? Go on.
The cutting of the bread and leaving the bread knife and the bread and the rubbish out.
That's okay. That's okay. That's just life.
I've learned now that, okay?
Yeah.
And then I think one of the weeks, my 5-minute one was leaving your plates out and stuff. And I think we've slipped back into that again. And
very busy. I've been very, very busy.
Right?
Yeah.
Busy doing life.
Yeah, it's hard work when you're a full-time dad, and you've got to put plates away as well. It's difficult.
But I think I've trying to teach myself to be a bit more laid back and not care about it.
You should.
Yeah, no, nothing's ever going to change, so I'm going to have to.
Do you think we should apologise for my voice?
Yes, I think we should probably,
I've got the husky voice back on, I'm sorry. Very busy weekend, and last night was just lost my voice completely, we're trying. But we still wanted to go ahead and do it.
We call it the sexy voice, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. I love it. I love listening back to it. It's the only ones I listen back to.
It's that phone line. The special phone line voice.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So this week then we are tackling the big, massive topic of, is it ADHD or did we just have a baby?
Yes.
Talk to us then about, talk to me.
Yeah.
Why did we decide, what, it was you that came up with this one?
Yes. I think, first of all, I would like to do a disclaimer.
Okay.
I love all my children very much. Before we say anything else, my children are my life. Yeah. And I love them all very much.
You're the best dad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But, my God, it's hard. And I think after having the baby, everything just went... symptoms-wise, it just went off the charts, and I think that's probably when we realised that...
that was when the ADHD thing pure reared its ugly head, didn't it? And that's when it was oh, this is serious, we need to get it looked at. Go on, sorry.
No, on you go.
So I've got some things.
Oh, of course.
Okay. In fact, before I start this, talk to me about when we found out we were pregnant, how did you feel? And it's not that, because obviously you didn't...
So... if we're brutally honest, I remember saying that it's good, it's all right, but this is going to be hard. This is a hard thing. Obviously, I've got 2 older kids, and it's hard.
I remember you saying to me as well, this will change you. And I was like, no, it won't, no.
But I think that was a bit selfish as well, because I was thinking about it'll change you, which in turn I won't deal with well.
Yeah, I suppose you liked the Donna that was there.
You were all right.
And your worry is that I'm going to change and then you won't like me as much anymore, maybe?
Oh, no, that was never it. It was just that I was worried that you were going to become a complete stress head.
Oh, me?
Yeah. When you were the chilled out one, you were the
Yeah.
one that kept everything going and
Yeah.
were able to just get along with it, and we were daft.
Were you worried about being daft actually because we could do stuff at the drop of a hat,
Yeah.
and now we can't do that anymore? Were you worried about not getting as much attention? Because with ADHD, one of the things can be about getting attention and
I don't know what you mean.
were you worried that the attention would not be on you as much?
Of course it was.
Yeah?
I think that's been something that's crept up as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Especially in the relationship.
Not that I'm needy or anything.
Needy smell I've ever known. Okay, do you think it has affected you?
Excuse me. Of course it has. We know it has from day one. I think as soon as the baby, I want to just concentrate on the baby. Obviously, we've got 3 kids at home, but it's especially the baby that's. We can deal with that another time, the actual parenting as a whole.
Yeah, parenting as a whole,
Yeah.
absolutely. This is more about the changes that came with having a
The
baby.
baby,
It's not that he's our favourite. It's just that, because I know the other
not
two.
today, no.
No,
Different days.
the other two would like an episode about them as well,
Oh,
wouldn't
obviously.
they? But it's more about the fact that how a baby has completely changed our dynamic. Okay, cool. So, I've been doing some research.
Of course.
Okay, so we're going to start off with having a baby can potentially, in what's the word I'm looking for? Heighten ADHD symptoms in men due to the increased stress, sleep disruption, and significant lifestyle changes that come with parenthood.
Okay.
Which is funny because you've already had that previously twice. So it's interesting to know why this, not right now, but it's interesting to know why this one is different. Particularly in the early stages, which can further challenge the executive function abilities often affected by ADHD, leading to difficulties with organisation, planning, the new word, and managing time, which we'll go into them, each one.
Right.
So what do you think is it this time that's different to... I mean, I thought of a big one then, but...
Yeah. First, I'm a bit nervous.
Okay. Why?
It's just so massive that I feel a bit uncomfortable.
Okay. Nothing you say is going to make me think that you hate him.
Oh, no. Yeah. So the first time when the other two were younger, I self-medicated with alcohol. And looking back now, obviously I've realised this past year and a half that that's exactly what I done. When things got hard, when the other two were younger, I would go out and get drunk at the weekend because that was my way of releasing whatever was going on. And
Is it almost like masking what your responsibilities or?
Yeah, definitely. I'm running away from everything.
Yeah.
I ran away from everything for years by drinking, by just doing daft stuff. And that's why it's so different this time, because I'm aware of everything that's going on, whereas before I wasn't. And so it's difficult, and it's been harder because I've had to just live with it and work out how to deal with it. And
Without, I
deal
suppose,
with the
that
change
crutch of
life
alcohol
without
that you
the
had.
alcohol,
Yeah. Okay, let's go through the little symptoms. The symptoms about that men might impact them. So stress and sleep deprivation.
Yes.
So I think you struggle with your sleep anyway.
Yeah, it's a big one for me. But a couple of things with sleep. Obviously, all along you've done 90% of the night feeds and stuff, just because of the working hours.
And I didn't work.
Yeah.
So
it's only fair. No. But the lack of sleep, we've realised through the past 18 months that you can cope with a lot less sleep than me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that before. I always thought that I'd done all-nighters and I was all right. I only got a couple hours sleep at night. But that's not true. I need a
You
good
definitely
few,
need sleep. So I struggle sometimes waking you up in the morning when you've not had enough sleep. Do you think the lack of sleep heightens your symptoms?
It heightens everything, makes everything worse.
Right, okay.
And the tiredness, add that into everything else, then it just becomes a nightmare. That whole day is wasted, basically.
So when you don't get enough sleep, for example, so say, I mean, he sleeps much better now, but like, obviously newborn, when he's not had enough, you've not had enough sleep because he's up through the night, and I might be doing the feedings, but you're still disrupted because. How does that affect you the day after then? So if you've had less lack of sleep, what kind of like happens to your brain? What tends to happen the day after?
Well, it just leads to those days where you just do nothing. You end up sitting, you just can't get motivated, and you just end up doing nothing. But oh no, this is terrible. It started. The one that's worse than that, worse than the no sleep, is, I know we spoke about the baby monitor in one of the earlier episodes, but I cannot describe that feeling when I get into bed at night, because that's my time, if you like. Late at night when I get in, everybody else is sleeping, and I'll sit, definitely not with a pack of hobnobs, and I'll watch TV. The panic that goes through me, and it's terrible to say, but I hate the slightest noise in that baby monitor.
Yeah.
That just, I'm like, oh, it fills me with dread.
Because you think, oh, he's waking up.
He's waking up.
That's my time remains.
Yeah, that is. It's selfish and it's horrible, but that's been a massive thing for the past year. I've noticed that.
What about the other way around, of you trying to not make noise? Does that frustrate you as well? Knowing that he's sleeping. So you come up to bed, or you go downstairs to cook your baguette. Then you come up to bed, and obviously you get undressed, you get into bed, but you sort yourself out, you take your tablets, sometimes they're out the packets and
sense
stuff.
an undertone, don't I?
No. But like, do you find yourself being more worried because the baby's asleep? Not in our bedroom, but his room is not far from where we are.
Oh, I creep past.
I mean, you're the loudest creeper I know. My gosh.
Like that, I mean, you know that in the nights I've got off, if we go to bed together, I won't even look in the room.
No, you're like straight past, aren't you?
Do not look in there. Don't know. It's all right. So yeah, I do try and be quiet, but I'm also aware that if I put the TV on, I'll hear it, and then I'm like, oh, and then I've got to listen to the TV at volume 4.
Does that cause you a bit of stress?
It does, yes.
It says that new parents, especially fathers, often experience significant sleep disturbances and heightened stress levels due to the demands of caring for a newborn, which can significantly worsen ADHD symptoms like difficulty concentrating and irritability. I think the irritability one is a big one with you. So I've, like the slightest sound of the monitor, I have heard like, oh, like coming from you, whereas I'm a bit more chill about it. I'm just like, oh, you know, it is what it is.
I used to think I was a patient person.
No.
No, I think it's been shown that I'm not. It's difficult. I don't know if it's overstimulation or I'm trying to think of different words. There's the overstimulation. There's the
irritability.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't deal well with it. It's just a lot, all the time.
I think when your mind has constantly got to be on, I think that's when it kind of gets too much for you.
What I have realised though recently, I'm all right if I'm just concentrating on the baby. Yeah. So, like, for example, you come back to work now on a Wednesday. That's it. It's time for me and the baby, and I don't do anything else. So there's no work. There's no work phone calls. It's just me and the baby, and it's been amazing. It's been absolutely brilliant. Really
so I think on them days it's fine, but I also think that it's got a flip side to it.
Right.
Go on. Because I think that you not having that day to work drives you insane.
It does when, like, a couple of days later, if I'm trying to play catch up and then I'm trying to work and then there's like stuff going on and I can't deal with too much going on at the same time.
Like the stimulation thing.
Yeah.
Okay, increased responsibility and decision making. So the added responsibility of parenthood, including making numerous decisions about baby care, can overwhelm individuals with ADHD. It may struggle with decision making and prioritisation.
Okay. So I think everything completely changed because we were in a position where as you say, we were doing stuff. It was just, we could do stuff at the drop of a hat. We could just go out and whatever. It was fine.
Go to bingo.
Go to bingo. I miss bingo. And but obviously that all changed, and I forget what you said.
So priorities. So prioritisation. So what?
Yeah.
So our priority would have been in the days we didn't have the older kids. It would be like kind of like, oh, what do you want to do today?
Having fun.
Yeah. But now, do you think we've lost that fun?
Oh, I like to think we've not lost the fun.
Okay.
We're still a bit daft.
Yeah.
But we're just baby friendly daft now.
Yeah.
So it's different.
And how do you think that affects you? How do you think that?
So you know that I get itchy feet.
Yes. Terribly.
So we can be sitting in letting a night off, and I'll be like, what can we do? We've got to do something.
Yeah.
And that's more difficult with a baby because you've then got to find something that's baby friendly.
Yeah.
We manage.
Oh, we do.
Wales is good.
Yeah. So random drive.
Yeah.
And what about decision making? Do you think that's affected you?
So I think we make that many decisions that if you try and get one of us to choose what we're having for dinner, then it's just
it goes out the window. I think I'm probably more of a decision maker than you are.
Definitely, and I like that.
No,
I like that. Why?
I don't have ADHD, but I hate decision making. But I think it's worse with you. Like you cannot make a decision for love nor money. But it's for me. It's things like not even like. So say it's to do with the baby. So for example, do you think I should put his coat on him or not? Oh, I don't know. Oh my God. Do you think I should feed him now or wait until we get to wherever we're going? Oh, I don't know. And I'm like, inside I'm thinking, no, help me, like, help me out. I think you're too scared to make a decision sometimes.
Yeah, you're scary. You're a mum now. No, I just think that.
But do you think that's your ADHD or is it life? Like, do you think, is it just life because you don't want to make a decision?
So I think everybody must struggle. That like we're having a baby. It's
Yeah,
hard,
of course,
so,
it's bloody hard.
So even take the ADHD out of it, and everybody must struggle. Surely everybody struggles.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's the question, is it? ADHD.
Okay, so disrupted routine. So the unpredictable nature of infant needs can disrupt established routines, which can be challenging for people with ADHD who rely on structure and consistency to manage their symptoms. So I think this was massive for you because routine kind of went out the window. I think now we've kind of got into routine and think that's probably why it's getting better. Whereas for 15 months, we've not had routine. Since before I went back to work, there's been absolutely no routine.
No.
The only constant routine with our life is your work and the time that's split with the big kids. But I think everything else is just...
So I always say that I would love routine and routine would make everything so much better, but I struggle so much with routine. You can't stick to routine, can you? Is that your itchy feet, do you think? I think, yeah, definitely.
Is that your ADHD?
Yeah. I make plans to, we know about this, and write in notebooks and get new notebooks, but it never goes ahead, that's not. But what I get from what you just says about the changes is what I have not dealt with well is if we plan something and so say we plan something for Monday night. Yeah. And it would just... Oh.
Sorry about that.
And we've got it, whether even watching a film. So if we plan to watch that film on Monday night and we're going to get popcorn and we're going to... it's going to be amazing. And then the baby will start crying at 9 o'clock. I have not dealt with that well. There's been... That can send me into...
So is that overdrive. You? Or is that... a side effect of the ADHD? Like, what is that, do you think? Is that selfishness or is it ADHD?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't seem to bother you as much. So you don't get...
I've got
you
a great
just
example. I've got a great example. Okay, so it was a few weeks ago now. It was a Monday night, actually, and he'd been to nursery, And we all know we try and keep him awake, don't we? He went to bed pretty early, though, and an hour later he was up. I was in the middle of making tea, and this boy was awake and, like, was not going down again. And you went into the biggest, foulest mood ever. It affected us. We went in a mood with each other. I ended up taking him out in the car to get him to sleep about 11 o'clock. Came home, and then you were like, might as well go to bed now. And that was it. Then we went to bed, and that was it. But you were horrible, like, but for me, I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, that's life. Like, he's awake. We've just got to indulge it, and it's not like he's awake and being annoying. He's just playing and sat there. So there's no reason why we couldn't have watched whatever we wanted to watch, and he might have watched Cocomelon on the iPad, whatever. Other TV shows are available, but do you know what I mean? Like, I think you do a complete, like, 360 with it, and, like, it really bugs you. Whereas me, I'm a bit like, oh, it's okay, it is what it is.
No, but
so what is that then with you?
We had plans. We're going to watch a film.
And we can still watch that
No,
film.
we never watched a film.
No, but we could have. We didn't, because you were in such a mood. But we could have.
It's just, I think when you look forward to something.
Of course.
If you look forward to something all the time and then it changes it. It must be a symptom that, because I realised that I am, like, overreacting to it, and I get that too much. But that's got the intensity of what I feel when it doesn't happen. It's like,
and it's mental. That it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm gutted. I'm gutted that it's not just like, I look forward to Monday night as soon as that baby goes to bed. We don't get many nights together, just the two of us, because you work most nights. So I look forward to that me and you time. And don't get me wrong, I'm thinking, oh, I'm gutted, but it is what it is, and it's not like it's
no. It's ruined. Whole night's ruined.
Just give him a drop of whiskey. But yeah, like, I feel like we've got forever. And
but that
I'm sorry, you think I'll leave you, man?
I don't know if this keeps going. Excuse me, but it's not about forever. It's about, you're looking forward to that night. You're excited. You're ready for dopamine.
No, I get that. I do get it.
No, and plus it's more about the relaxing, because you just get to chill out and you get to, like, watch that film or just sit but then when the baby's up, you don't.
Do you think you'd find it hard to relax when if the baby wakes up and he's there playing and stuff? Do you find it harder to relax than what I would, for example?
But I find that because even if you're playing with him or whatever, I feel guilty because you're playing with him. You can't be enjoying yourself because... No, I don't mean enjoying yourself. I mean, like, you must be raging as well because the baby's up. But I'm letting you deal with him. So then I feel guilty. So even if I'm sitting there, I feel guilty and it's not the same.
So maybe it isn't selfishness then?
No. Can we just say that the baby's amazing?
Oh my God, he's the best little boy. He's the happiest little boy in the world.
He really is. And I feel...
it's not about him.
No,
it's about you. About having. It's not about him. It's about the fact that we've had him and how it's affected you. And I do think it's probably made you in them circumstances. I've just said it's not selfishness, but it has probably made you a little bit more selfish. In the sense that if something goes wrong, you're like, ugh. Do you know what I mean? Like, exactly.
I don't do well with that.
No. And that's the change thing, because last minute changes you don't like. No. It's not good for you.
But with work as well, I mean, if we're doing examples, I know another one.
Oh, yes, give me it. I like an example. It
was only last week and I was trying to catch up in work from the couple of days.
Oh, yes.
And you asked me to pass your hoodie.
Never. I have never in my life. Not only. Do you know what? I replayed this. I went out there and I replayed it in my head over and over and over again because I had not asked you to do a single thing that morning. I'd made you 3 coffees. I'd made you breakfast. I'd not asked you to do anything with the baby. And then I asked you to pass me a hoodie. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like it. Stood up. Where? Just literally at the side of the table, forgetting I did it myself.
But I was working.
No, but all I asked you to do was pass me a hoodie. It's not like... Come on.
No, I completely understand that. 100% I overreacted, and it was, but that's like, I can only focus on one thing, and because I was focused, I was sending an email, and I think tried to send the email a couple of times, and there was something going on, and then the hoodie was just.
I don't mind, but like I'd not asked you to do anything else.
I know, but that's difficult as well. So trying to work, and I don't do a lot of work in the house.
No. Do you know, somebody asked me the other day, what does he do when he's like in the week when he's doing like his work at home? Somebody asked me that the other day. I won't say who, but a very good friend of ours. I stuck up for you. Yeah. But yeah, I know it's not easy when he's around. So what's the solution with that then?
Just you take him. And don't ask me to pass hoodies.
Do you know what I remember as well? I even said to you, why don't you go and get an hour upstairs? Why don't you go and take your work upstairs? Yeah. Like I tried to get you out of the room.
But I can only concentrate on one thing at a time. And
is that the ADHD?
I think it must be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just
a man thing.
No, is it a man thing? No, again, it's the intensity. So because I just wanted to get that done.
Yeah.
And we work, everything's got to be done immediately.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, if somebody inquires, it's got to be done right there and then. If anything gets in the way of that, basically, then I don't deal with it anymore.
No.
Dad of the year.
I guess that comes under. Do we talk about disrupted routine?
Yeah.
Okay. And then emotional challenges. So the emotional roller coaster of new parenthood. Father feels overwhelmed or inadequate. Do you ever get them kind of feelings?
Yes, overwhelmed, definitely.
Yeah, well, that's what you've just been talking about, isn't it?
With everything that's hard.
And had a baby in the mix, and it's kind of just like, because he does want your attention all the time.
Of
it's
course.
Not like, and that's nothing, he's a baby, like that's what babies do.
And I just can't get in my head that this sounds so negative, and that he's amazing. It's a baby.
No, it's not.
You cannot ask for a happier baby.
It's not about him though. It's about you and how you can be a better dad. No, I'm joking. You are the most amazing dad. I'm joking.
What was the question?
Overwhelming inadequacy.
Inadequacy. So that has come into it. So I think so. That has come into it so much by watching what you do.
Okay.
Because you've took on the lion's share of.
Oh, absolutely. But I didn't work.
I know. And so then I can feel like I feel bad because I'm watching you do that, and I try and help with as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can feel like I should be doing more. I'm not. I should be doing.
Do you think
better.
your ADHD stops that? Do you think it stops?
I think it's difficult sometimes because no matter what you think you should be doing or want to be doing, sometimes you just can't.
Okay.
And that can be difficult, but but you definitely I felt bad a lot.
Okay, here's a question for you. Months. If we're at home together and in the morning or at night and the baby's there, and I'm changing his bum and getting him dressed, do you ever feel the need to jump in and say, let me do that? Or do you kind of just like ignore it's happening?
Oh, so I would never, I don't think I have ever jumped in and says, let me do that.
Okay.
And part of it could be that I just say, you've got it, you're doing it, and it's done. And I don't think that's ADHD. Is
that Adam?
That's probably a bit lazy. Probably that I just think you've got it. So well, it's fine. But there's other times where I would never jump in. But what I have noticed that I'll ask you. I'll ask you all the time. What do you want me to do? What can I do? What do you want me to do? 90% of the time, you'll say, nothing, it's all right. I know you don't mean that.
Absolutely.
But I've found myself not doing anything with it, and that's a bad thing. That is something that I've picked up on that I'm doing, and I need to stop doing.
And do you think that comes under ADHD? Do you think that is there any symptoms that?
No,
Do you think that's just you?
I think that's
just life.
I think that's just like ignoring that his nappy needs changed. I think that could be a man thing or a dad thing. Yeah. Just pretending you can't smell it.
Oh, he's not wet.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there must be a lot that we're talking about that happens to every dad that's not got ADHD. And what about your side of things? So we've done me, it's over. Yours. What have you felt dealing with it? Because effectively you've had to deal with the baby and the big baby.
So, do you know, for me, like obviously the ADHD thing wasn't a thing before we had a baby, I don't think. I don't think we ever... Did it even come into consideration?
It was never mentioned. And I think that a mixture of everything being heightened when the baby came, plus doing the questionnaire for my son, then it all just fit into place and realised, So, but it certainly magnified everything.
I don't think I remember what life was like before the baby now, like with you. I think you've just been like this all the time. You've not, but that's... I've certainly seen I certainly saw things get worse. Not worse, but heightened, I guess. Things like, if you don't have the baby and I'm not at home, I think you struggle to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you fall into them depressions, but it's not depression. Do you know what I mean? A lot more.
That's about me. What about you?
Oh, me?
You all remember.
I don't come into it anymore, though, do I? It's all about you. I don't know, in what way, though? Like...
I don't know, how have you got... voice just broke. Excuse me. How have you found it, having a baby? Because obviously it was a massive surprise.
A massive.
And so how have you felt?
I just get on with it. Honestly, don't get me wrong, I tell people that I miss my old life. And I tell people that all the time. Like, I miss being able to just do what I want when I want. But it's the best thing ever. I just find that it's really, really, really hard. Sometimes I find it hard if... Oh, it's not that I'm not supported, because I'm massively supported. But things like, if I'm taking on the lion's share and doing everything, sometimes I just think... oh my God, step in.
I can't even tell you to get a job now either.
No, I've got one. But just little things irritate me a lot more. So things like, do you want me to do that? Well, you know I'm going to say no. And I think that's why you say it like that. So, do you want me to? I hate that question. What can I do? I hate that question as well. Because I just think, look around, be more aware. And
I like to get told.
No, see, but I'm not a teller. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's never going to work, is it? Oh my God, wait till tomorrow morning. Do that, you people, look, you go to work tomorrow. But no, I just feel like I just get on with life and I just get on with stuff. And there are times when I mirror your mood and I'm mad at myself for that, because it affects all our family.
So I think that's been massive both ways, I think.
Yeah.
Because there'll be times where if one of us gets upset or stressed out, then the other person's automatically...
Massive,
and then kids get involved and it can ruin whole nights. But I think that's both ways, isn't it?
Yeah. And I also think I don't sweat the small stuff as much, like... him getting up and being awake, but I think that maybe because I deal with him more at night time than you do, so I'm used to it. Maybe I don't know, but I do think it's changed me. I'm not as fun anymore.
You're still fun. Just a mum kind of fun.
A mum fun. Oh, stop it! Like my mum calls. But this is about ADHD or life. This is not about me. It's about how I feel about you. I tell you, no joking.
Not nice, is it? On the spot.
No.
So, how have you felt the difference going back to work with the baby?
I've loved, like, I miss him terribly, but I've enjoyed being me and not mum me, if that makes sense. But I also have a big, massive guilt of leaving you with him.
No.
No, I know I shouldn't, but I do, because that's my role.
Guilt or jealousy?
A bit of both sometimes. If you're sat in Toasty Coffee House having fun, jealousy. But I do, because that's been my role for so long. I've been the main parent for him.
Yeah.
For 16 months, and then all of a sudden I'm not with him 3 days a week. And I feel guilty about that.
No, you definitely shouldn't. But
because I also think if he's noising you up and he's crying all day, I worry what I'm going to walk into.
But no, because he's been brilliant. And
I know, we know he has, but there are days when he might.
Yeah, but I think if I can set aside those days, which is what I've been doing, I cannot tell you how happy I've been the past 2 Wednesdays. And it's been actually, we've been going to play areas because I don't sit in the house.
No.
So I can't sit in the house. So we'll go to play areas and I'll just play with him. And that has made me so happy.
Do you think that's like boosted your dopamine levels?
Oh, 100. I've thought that as well. I've thought this is brilliant.
Yeah.
This
so do you know, like, do you remember the other week we talked about things that you can do to lift yourself,
like the
lift
natural
your mood?
dopamine.
Yes, the natural dopamines. Yeah. So do you reckon that's one of yours then?
It definitely is. It is. I feel myself smiling. I feel we're having fun.
Yeah.
And he can see it and he's laughing and we're laughing together and everything. And I think there's been a definite shift with me and the baby in the past couple of weeks.
He is all about his daddy recently.
Don't blame him, because I'm still fun.
Stop! I blame you for making me the non-fun one.
But it's been amazing.
Yeah.
And I know, or at least I think now, in fact, no, I know that if it wasn't a good day, if he was crying all day or moaning or not well, then it would be all right, because it's me and him day. So
okay.
It's all right. Whatever way it goes, then we deal with it. It's fine.
Okay, so why is it then, if it's the three of us there, and he's moaning and crying, that you tend to get moodier?
Because it's not been planned.
So it happened this morning.
Right.
Our son seems to think that there's a magic biscuit stash at the side of your bed, right?
Tell people that.
And for the past 2 days, he's found a biscuit. And then this morning he went, and there was no biscuits because he'd ate them all. And he started like moaning and crying, and you actually, you lost it. I don't think you knew, I'm not sure if you knew you were doing it.
I think I was still sleeping, but I'm very poorly. I've got a very sore throat, and I think I've got full-blown flu. And I was like eating glass this morning. I was very sore. I don't know what was happening this morning. I'm sorry.
So do you think your symptoms when you're sick, do your symptoms?
I don't really get sick very often, though. But when I do, it floors me. But I don't think that's an ADHD thing. That's a man thing.
Okay, just to round this off then. So they say 1 in 20, so when you have a baby, 1 in 20 babies will have ADHD. However, if a parent has ADHD, that increases to 4 to 8 in 20. Okay, and it is hereditary. So obviously we're aware of like your older son. And do you think the baby could be a possibility?
Well, that possibility certainly are.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand, I've seen, I've been watching a few videos recently, even this morning, and I've seen somebody like getting a child diagnosed at 3, and how can you know?
I think for me, how do you even know? You wouldn't know. Like, we've joked, haven't we? Oh, it's got ADHD, that one. Like we've laughed about it, but I just think, how do you know? Somebody in school actually said to me, we're at work, they were talking about their child going through getting tested, and I joked and said, "Oh, sometimes me and Adam joke that like the babies." And she went, "Oh, as soon as you get, the earlier the better to get them tested." And I'm like, But he's just a baby and he's only a small kid.
I don't even think that comes into it.
No.
And because look at my older son. You don't know. I don't think you know. When you're so young, you're going through so much stuff anyway. You're just a boy or you're just a baby or that's a strange one. I don't know. I don't know is the answer.
Okay. So
lucky you if he is.
Oh my God. So is it ADHD or did we just have a baby?
I think for everybody having babies is hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I think in the past when I had babies, I self-medicated and got through it, so didn't realise all this stuff, didn't realise probably how hard it was. Their mum dealt with a lot of that, there's no doubt about it. And now I think it's hard. I don't know if it's ADHD.
No one tells you how hard it is.
No, absolutely. I told you.
Yeah, you did. You did say to me, it's going to be hard. I think what it's done is it's definitely heightened some of your symptoms.
Oh.
But I also think that on the edge, is it your ADHD or is it just a bit of selfishness because things have changed?
Mm-hmm.
So a bit of Adam.
Yeah. Could be.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Did that go how you thought it would?
No, I feel so, honestly, I think it's so close to the bone.
Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable.
Are you worried what people are going to think?
Not so much, no. I think it's how I feel. It's how I feel about myself. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to get so stressed about stuff and little stuff, and it's not nice. You feel a lot of guilt. I don't think we've touched that, but there's so much guilt involved in it, whether it be towards you or towards a baby or towards, if I'm dealing with you and the baby, then it's towards work, and there's a lot of guilt involved.
A lot going round in that
brain. Always.
Brilliant. So let's move on to our next segment then.
Can this bit be funny? Because this has been very no. Very serious day today.
It's very, very serious.
I don't like it.
Okay, me first again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm always first.
I don't know if I've got one.
Shut up,
no,
you must have.
I've got one.
Okay, so my 5-minute moan this week. I don't remember what mine was last week. Oh, it was the bread, wasn't it? The baguette. And let's face it, that nothing's going to change with that. So
done it last night. I had a lovely baguette.
Yeah, you did.
Tidied everything.
No, you didn't. Your crisp packet was still there this morning. I came down at 6 a.m. to make him his bottle. Up, he's had bread. Okay, so mine this week is in our living room. We have a little white table.
Yeah.
Now, you see a living room as in like it looks lived in, right? And I'm all right with that to an extent, but I like our living room to look like nice and respectable. Even though we don't get visitors, I just feel at night I want to be able to put a candle on and feel comfort in our living room. Okay, that white table does my absolute nutting because it has a plant on it, it has 3 candles, and it has 2 coasters.
Okay.
And then it's also full of batteries, dead battery wrappers, liquid bottles, like as in like e-liquid bottles. Probably about 3 mugs, 4 glasses.
Okay.
And it never ever gets tidied unless I do it.
Okay.
Okay, talk to me about that.
Okay. On keeping it, we've got a baby. Have you seen the rest of the living room?
No, I get that.
No, I'm not having that.
No.
Living room's respectable.
At night,
that white table is the only free space in that living room.
At night, I tidy them toys and I put them. I make it so it's nice and neat. But then I look at that table and it's full of your crap.
Oh crap! That's a horrible one.
I don't want to say shit. Full of your shit.
Because you need somewhere to put stuff.
Oh no, but but come on, move it.
You come in, you empty your pockets onto the
no,
table.
you empty your pockets, nobody else. But why don't you just like there's empty stuff or like dead stuff? Why don't you go and put it in the bin?
Because it's on the table. That's where I've emptied my stuff.
Honestly, I can't explain to you how infuriating it makes me. I come down and look at that table at night and I think, oh.
Right, how about we get rid of the plant and the candles? So, where do you suggest I empty my pockets?
In the bin.
I'm not emptying my pockets in the bin.
No, but all that stuff that's on the table should go in the bin.
What, change?
No, not the change.
The batteries aren't dead batteries. They're actually full batteries that I always keep in my pocket.
Oh, they'll never get used to because I'll put them in the bin.
So that's where all the batteries go. So where should I put all that stuff when I empty my pocket?
Oh, why don't you put it on the radiator cover in the hall, because you put all your shit there as well. That's next week.
Sometimes it's important to have piles of places that you know where stuff is and you can just reach it. So you just go to the table and get your stuff to refill your pockets.
Oh, no, but you don't, because you will leave them batteries there and you'll just get some new batteries out your car. Come on, don't tell me that doesn't happen.
That happens, yeah.
So you'll forget about them batteries. You'll also go, oh, where's my liquid? Where's my liquid? Oh, it's on the table, Adam. You tell how much. How precious you are about this white table.
I just think that a living room's to be lived in.
Is that all you're going to say about it?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Okay, brilliant.
Why have we got lady things in the kitchen drawer? That's mine. Nice and simple. Why have we got lady things in the kitchen drawer?
So, there's a reasoning behind this.
You moan about the white table if you... Go on.
Our young baby son seems to enjoy...
He does love them.
...picking up a lady thing at the moment. Do I say the word? Tampon. Not used, obviously, just like just out the box in the bathroom, and he walks around with them, and they're on the kitchen floor, and basically I stuck him in the kitchen drawer. Well, if they ever run out, I know there'll be some spare ones.
In the kitchen drawer with the cockney.
They're clean, they're in a bathroom.
Still don't know. It should be hidden in a cupboard somewhere in the toilet.
We don't have any cupboards which is upsetting.
Put it on the white table.
There's probably been one on the white table before. I hear you, and I'll get them moved.
Okay, thank you.
If you can tidy that table.
No promises.
Thanks.
Right.
Okay, so the last bit of our podcast today is our good, bad and ugly. So, what are you laughing for?
No.
I actually asked for some good, bad and ugly with kids in mind this week, and we got a few. So here's some, well, obviously adults about their kids. Didn't ask kids to like message me, because that'd be wrong. Anyway, so good, bad and ugly. So here's one for you. I want you to tell me what you think about these, okay? So to this day, my son will start the shower, and whilst it's getting warm, he'll go on his games and then realise he's been basically gaming while the shower runs for 15 minutes. Have you ever experienced that before?
And I'm so glad that I never get into gaming. I think
you would be awful.
No,
yeah.
But being distracted, yeah, and TikTok.
Yeah. Okay, so my 8-year-old son does his homework in the dark with a lamp light on his head.
Yes.
This is because one day he might get stuck in a bat cave, and how else will he do his homework?
Yes.
I was howling when I read that. I was like,
love it.
I messaged her back and I'm like, this is brilliant. Yeah, because I could see that with your older son. I could see him doing his homework.
I can also see me get more work done if I've done that.
I think I'm going to come in one day and you and your older son are going to be sat there with headlamps on doing some work.
Yes.
I know that he's going to be watching this. He's going to be like, yes, give me a headlamp.
Yeah.
This is another one that reminded me of your older son as well. But anytime I ask my son to do a task, he replies with, I've got an idea. So I asked him to put his laundry away the other day, and he replies, wait, I've got an idea. Let's make a slide down the hallway so it goes super fast. I came back sometime later. His clothes were still in the basket. Several toys had been deconstructed to provide parts, and somehow a juice box got dumped all over the place, and there was half an eaten hot dog lying there. We have a big issue with laundry in our house, don't we? All of us.
One day I'm going to take pictures and post it on the Facebook page. I think the difference is because of the ADHD in the parent and the child, I would end up making a slide with him.
Yes, you would. Yes.
And then you would come in and we would be lying at the bottom of the stairs, washing everywhere.
No, it's not happening, okay?
We've done it.
My son is only 4, undiagnosed, but we've got suspicions based on family history. He gets distracted halfway through taking off his shoes. I don't know how he can stand walking around with only one on, but there he is, just walking around.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's kind of like goes without saying. That again reminded me of your older son.
Yeah. I think the difficulty when you're like, I tried to Google parenting with ADHD.
Oh, right, okay.
And it comes up ADHD kids. So there's not a lot out there for the ADHD parents.
Right, okay,
So
interesting.
yeah.
Well, if you've got anything for us, if you've got kids or you've got any stories about your kids who might have ADHD, or send them to
ADHDorlife@gmail.com.
Waiting to get that in of you.
Yeah.
That's it for this week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
Follow us on our socials, ADHD Your Life
Can next week be a funny one?
Pod. Yeah. Is it ADHD Your Life Pod?
ADHD Your Life Pod.
On TikTok, Instagram and Facebook. And send any emails, your good, bad and ugly stories to ADHDyourlife@gmail.com. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and send any ADHD good, bad and ugly stories to ADHDyourlife@gmail.com.